Wiley Vision Studio in Spokane, Washington. The Stephen James Wiley Show. It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around and finally found the somebody who could make me be true, could make me be blue, or even be glad just to be sad, thinking of you. Bow, bow, bow. Welcome to my show. It's me. I'm Steve. How are you? I'm good. Yesterday was my birthday. Thank you. Yes. It was okay. It wasn't great. It was a sad birthday. I'm solid mid-40s. That's not why it was sad. I mean, birthdays at this juncture in my life are real non-starters as far as celebratory events go. But it is nice to feel loved by people who remember, and people did and sent me nice well-wishings. So that was cool. And always wonderful to feel loved. But we ended up, we took my grandpa, my dad and my sister took my grandpa to get set up in hospice. He is 89 years old. And what a guy. My grandma passed away many months ago now, like 6 or 8, 9 months ago. And Grandpa is, his body is done doing what it's doing. And he's shared stories with us about growing up. And it's funny, the things you never know until it's like people decide to open up at the end. And it's profoundly amazing to me, based on the stories I know about my great-grandmother, my dad's grandma, my grandpa, my dad's father, this grandpa, my grandma, all these folks and how they grew up versus how I grew up versus how my kids are growing up. And the emotional hardship that young people endured and lived with and processed or didn't process in the World War II generation, World War I generation, it's profound. And it gives you a lot of respect for them because they didn't have, oftentimes, very loving, nurturing families. The rule was dysfunction. Now, dysfunction is still alive and well in the world today. There's 8 billion people in the world. So, I'm sure there's billions of dysfunctional situations going on. But to hear the things that people died young more often, it seemed like, and this and that, having a new parent in your life without ever being told it was even going to happen. And then suddenly, hey, this is your mom, or hey, this is your dad, and call them dad now, and you don't even know who they are. Just wild. And some of it you could say was survival. Some of it was just weird. Like people just, and some stuff was weird religious stuff. Just the stories you hear. I mean, my great-grandma was 17, lived in Germany, and left to go find her father, who went to America and had not come back for, I guess, a year or two. I'm botching the story, but you don't know any different, so it's fine. And she went to America as a 17-year-old across the ocean and ended up going across the United States to Spokane, Washington, and found him, and he had started another family. And then she never said hello. She didn't. As far as I know, that's what happened. And then she went to Canada, never went back to Germany, got married and started a life. and had my grandma and her brothers and sisters. That's insane. I mean, it's not insane. It's just somebody living their life. But it's pretty wild by today's standards. You know, we are a much tamer bunch of people, at least here in the United States and Europe, it seems like. We're all very sheltered, I guess. Seems like we're a lot nicer to each other. I mean, there's still an abundance of assholes in the world, but we seem like we're trying harder to be nicer to each other, and that's a good thing, I think. Let's hope it's contagious. But anyhow, I have a lot of respect and admiration for my grandpa and really all of the relatives who've gone before me, despite any flaws they might have had. How dare they be human? But they lived through some pretty profound challenges and struggles, and I respect and honor my grandpa today, and as he gets ready to transition to the next journey, the next adventure, he's going to slip out of his earth suit and go say hi to grandma and my mom and everybody else. So there's that. Hope that's not a downer. It's just life. It is what it is. But today I wanted to take some time and talk about music, and specifically a record that I made called The Muse. It's a 5-song EP, which stands for Extended Play, if you didn't know that. And LP stands for Long Play, which all had to do with vinyl, I believe. An extended play was like an extended play single, which this is not. It's a 5-song EP. It's called The Muse, and I did it about 10 years ago. I recorded it, and I recorded most of it in Nashville, or I released it 10 years ago, I guess, and then I did a re-release of it a couple years ago, and I kind of tweaked a few things, but it's a 5-song EP about the artist's pursuit of the muse. And if you don't know what the muse is kind of a... Well, let's take here, I got it right here. Here's an overview. In the context of art history, a muse refers to a person, place, or thing that serves as a source of inspiration for an artist. The term's origins lie in ancient Greek mythology, where the muses were goddesses of inspiration, particularly for arts and sciences. Kind of cool for sciences, too, right? The muse stems from the 9 muses of Greek mythology, each presiding over a different art form or discipline. Isn't that interesting? So the muse nowadays, how people see it is, it's the inspiration, the genius, the dropping of an idea into one's spirit or mind from God. And we personify that in whatever way or imagery that suits us. And for many, it's like this beautiful goddess who's bestowing poems and gifts and songs and movie ideas and plays and you name it. Lyrics, poetry, even dances, who knows, right? All these beautiful things. Or in the case of the sciences, who knows? I mean, Elon Musk probably knows because he's done quite a few interesting things with science. And so you have this pursuit of the muse. And there's a wonderful story, and forgive me if I've told it before, but I love it. This woman, shared how when she was young, she would hear a poem coming, almost like a train in the distance, and then she would run home as fast as she could to grab the pen to catch that poem, because she knew if she didn't, it was going to go to somebody else. Somebody else would get it. And oftentimes you will feel an inspiration come and you will write your story idea. For example, I had a idea hit me for a movie about pickleball. And I called my treatment Pickle Tickle, which is a great title, by the way. I have written 5 different treatments for this story idea, for this movie idea. And it was a mockumentary type deal, kind of a Christopher Guest type situation. Now, it could still work, but I just have never felt like I caught the idea just right. And then I heard, of course, somebody else is working on a pickleball movie, probably multiple somebodies, and I'm pretty sure a ton of people have probably written down treatments or ideas for pickleball. Why? Because the Muse had it in the air. It was floating around. And old Steve-O here, I caught it. I wrote a little ditty down. And then I kind of lost the vibe. I lost the trail. And I didn't do it. But I have my 4 different treatment ideas, and I've kind of been blending them into one, and I still might. It's something I could shoot really affordably, but I'm not there yet. I want to be there, man. I'm just jonesing to shoot something. I did my TV pilot thing last year, and I've just got to get back at it, but it takes money. It takes focus, energy. Anywho, so this record is called The Muse, and the first song on this particular endeavor is called The Mountain. And I think it's the first song I wrote for this record. And I didn't even know I was writing this record when I wrote it. It just happened. I caught it from the Muse, you could say. And The Mountain is the longest song on this record. And I was listening almost on repeat to Bruce Springsteen's song, Philadelphia. And so you will hear me stealing a vibe from Bruce Springsteen. But it does not sound like Bruce Springsteen. It sounds like me writing a song. But there's some cadence, there's some things. And I don't mind saying it. I don't care. Because it's not anything like the song Philadelphia. It just has a little bit of... it inspired me. And the song is about the artist's pursuit of the muse. And the record ends up being that. And there's instrumental pieces. And then there's this really beautiful thing at the end that I like. That I, honest to God... this record probably, and honestly, I was really kind of sad when I wrote it because it was it's just not easy to be an artist. Let's just be honest. And I was like, man, I just want to find that great work in me to give. What does the Muse have for me? What is God? What idea is mine that I can cultivate? And this record came together out of that. But it reflects the loneliness of being an artist and experiencing insane amounts of rejection, both real and imagined, and still deciding to pursue the story anyway. I did most of the instrumentation on it except for the lead guitar work that Brian Oakes, Nashville guy, wonderful guitar player. I love the dude. He contributed. Beautiful stuff. I love it. And so I'm going to play a clip from The Mountain, and you can hear what it's all about. And obviously all this music's available in all the places, Apple, Spotify, and whatnot. But this is The Mountain, first track off of that EP.
I've spoken with strangers like they were old friends. Souls get tied and torn and then reborn again. I've eaten with pigs till the sickness made me stop. I tried to get clean, but that shit don't come off. I found peace in a strange land with no money in my pocket. I came to understand she speaks when I am quiet. I'll follow her voice that invites me to love. I'll follow her voice. She's all that I dream of. And I will climb the mountain to prove that I'm alive. If I die on the mountain, it'll prove that I tried. I'll cry out on the mountain, pleading, just give me something. She will rise, sing her song. She won't stay long.
There it is, The Mountain. Hope you dig it. I love it. We didn't get to the sweet guitar stuff that Brian Oakes does, but it's toward the end. There's a sweet, vampy thing at the end that I'm very proud of. So the next song on the EP is called The Loneliness. And it really is a very simple, musical, slightly lyrical representation of how alone most artists feel. And I know it sounds self-indulgent and oh, woe's me, but truthfully, it is what it is. And if you don't have any compassion for it, then there's nothing I can do for you. It's how it feels. It's authentic. Every artist knows it. And the truth is, it goes beyond art, because I think most people, especially in the culture that we're in right now with the amount of technology we enjoy and or suffer with, the epidemic of loneliness it's off the charts. People are more lonely than ever. People have less community than ever. And I think that's why some people are much more interested in church than they've ever been, regardless of what you think of church or the beliefs of any church, Catholic, Baptist, whatever. It's a place where people are. It's a place where people gather, and they gather for what they consider to be a very positive experience. If you're in the Jewish community and you go to synagogue, or if you are a part of an ashram or whatever, it's a lacking thing, especially for younger people. There's more loneliness for younger people. Even in a crowded room, everyone's just staring at their stupid fucking phones. And it's so sad. And so it's not just an artist problem right now. And I think this song is very relatable. It's the most popular song off of this EP, on Spotify at least. And so here it is. It's called The Loneliness, and it's a sad song. It's a sad ballad of an instrumental with just a little bit of lyrics. Just says, please see me, I just want to feel. Please love me, I just want to feel. I think a lot of folks feel that way, and I definitely have at times. And so this is the song, The Loneliness. Now, one of the things on that track that you didn't hear at the very beginning is my friend Heather Frost, who is a bartender. She's worked in the restaurant industry for 25 years. And I was sitting at the bar I used to hang out at, and the room was so loud. The place was packed. It was like a Friday night. Actually, yeah, I don't even know if it... She would always run a great place. She still does, up North Spokane. You can go check it out. It's called Sinola. But it's like a restaurant. It's classic vibe. It's got like an Old West bar. Anyhow, I'm sitting there one night. I'm drinking, probably too much. And I'm by myself. I'm alone. And I'm feeling the feelings of this song, frankly, of the loneliness track. And I turn on my phone and I click the voice memo and I just record the ambient noise of the room. And I said to myself in my mind, sometimes the loneliness can get so loud. And then I looked at Heather and I said, hey, will you say this into my recorder? I'm going to use it. And she's like, what? I said, sometimes the loneliness can get so loud. Just say that with all this noise. So she says it at the beginning of the track. That's my friend Heather. And I think she thought I was retarded for saying that. But she didn't know what I was thinking or what I was going to do. And then I literally got up, left, went home, and recorded this song. So this song, actually, I recorded in Spokane. That's good to remember. That's fun. But anyhow, yeah, I went home and I tracked the whole thing, start to finish. And that's where that came from. So that's kind of a fun memory. So then, other note with regard to this is on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Stephen James Wiley. Obviously, you can listen to this show there. And then if you go to the music section where there's music videos, I commissioned a guy to create a series of music videos that make this whole EP connect into one long short film. Not a long short film, into one short film. It's 18 minutes long, and it's also broken up into individual tracks. But he used stock videos, different things he had, and put it all together into like a short film music video. And it's really cool. He did a really awesome job on it, and I'm super grateful that he did it. And so you can see all that there, and it's the story of a guy's pursuit of the muse, and you'll get to see it all visually displayed. I can't believe I forgot about that. I don't remember things as well as I should have. But anyhow, go check that out. And I have done a terrible job of telling. I paid good money for that too. So there's that. So the next song in it is an instrumental. It's called The Drive, and it's basically about the artist driving home from the bar, essentially, you could say. And that's what he's doing in the video. And it's a shorter piece, so I'm just going to plug it in here, and you'll hear it start to finish, because it's just a little vibey number. A vibey little number. So that's the drive. The artist is driving home. Can you feel it? Can you see it? Can you see the night? Maybe a little rain on the windshield. And then the artist gets home and he goes to sleep. He's done. His plea to the Muse has been made. So this next track is another short little instrumental piece. Very short, actually. It's called The Sleep. And it's fun. So here we go. So the artist has gone to sleep, and then begins the last track of the whole record. It is called The Dream. And basically, this dream is every person's dream, honestly, not just artists. It's the dream of love. It's the dream of union. It's the dream of connection. It's the dream of pure, beautiful union of two souls, or you could say union with God, union with the infinite, union with the mystery, the Muse. You could take it any number of ways, but it's the heart longing, I think, in all of us, and it's in me, for sure. And this song is my lyrical and musical expression of that longing. And I think it's relatable for a lot of people, not just artists. And so this is the last portion of that song. And this is called The Dream. And I love, this is probably one of the most, I like a lot of the things I've written because I enjoyed writing them so much. I enjoyed producing and creating them. They're like my children. I love them, all of them, uniquely. But I'm really proud of this guy, put it that way. And so we're going to cut into it kind of mid-song, actually toward the end, but where the dreamer has just concluded that this was just a dream. It was all a dream. And almost like he doesn't want to wake up. And then there's kind of an explosive emotional burst at the end. You'll hear it. I think it's pretty real.
It was everything that you ever wanted to feel. That bursting in your chest when you know that it's love.
And there it is. The Muse, the EP. And a huge shout out to Sean Spence, producer in Nashville, friend who I love. I've got to do some really great work with. He also produced with me the whole full-length record, Cinematic Life. And Sean added just little things to... In that song specifically, he added some of the huge synth stuff. And as I was listening to it, it all came back to me. It was all after the fact. I brought the whole project to him, and he just threw a polish on it, and he caught the essence of what I was trying to communicate and convey. And he did such a beautiful job. He's always done a beautiful job with anything we've ever done together. Him and his wife, Anelda, incredibly talented people. She has the most beautiful voice, and she writes incredible songs, incredible lyrics. Love them and appreciate them tremendously. So just glad I was able to just acknowledge that, because it's you can't, you don't even realize it in the moment how special it is to get to collaborate with other people who have such beautiful talents and gifts themselves. So there you go. That's my EP. It's called The Muse. Go enjoy it if you have time or feel inclined. So all love to you guys. Thanks for listening. Appreciate you always. Feel free to subscribe on the old Substack so I can grab your email and keep you informed on all future plans and whatnot. I wish you the best of all days, and may your future be bright. All right. Peace and love.